Howdy ho YouTube, Jon-Luke VGC here. Today I will be doing a kind of hybrid video of a shorter-ish team report on the team that I took to NAIC with a few battles at the end just so you can see me use it in action. Battle-wise, you all have seen me use Zamazenta CSR a lot, so I don't really feel the need to go like full battle heavy with it, but I will have a few very good battles, I think, that I kind of just collected over time of this evening. I played them all this evening, but that I think you guys can get an idea of the team and really garner some fun from it. I like the battles. I think the battles are really cool, so stick around for those. But yep, so we're going to do a team deep dive team report and then hop into that. But yeah, I don't know how to keep this going, so we're just going to hop into the team report. All right, see y'all in a second. Thanks. All right, everyone, let's take a look at the team. It actually looks like I'm looking at the team, which is kind of cool. So yes, I took Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta to NAIC. What a surprise. Wow, I played CSR Zama balance. Whoa, everybody put your hats back on. Yeah, I like this. I like the concept of it. I felt really, really comfortable with it. And I'm going to be kind of honest, I was a little tired of all the competing before NAIC. You know, I went to Atlanta, I went to Milwaukee, all of this other stuff, and I was getting a little burnt out. So I didn't necessarily want to go to NAIC. I signed up just to like have the opportunity if I wanted to. But some friends were like, really like, Jon-Luke, you should go. You should try one more time for the season. And I said, okay, but I'm picking a comfort pick. So I picked CSR Zama. How I got there was pretty interesting. So yeah, so I'll divvy up the timestamps in here, but I'm gonna like talk a little bit about NAIC in this section. I'll tell you a couple stories. I will go over the team. I'll try to keep them like blocked, and I'll try to put the timestamps in the video so you can kind of skip stuff if you don't want to do it. But I do have a lot to say about kind of my adventures at my first ever internets and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so when I was building this team, and this is my channel, so I get to talk about myself. So yeah, so when I was building this team, I decided that I wasn't going to go for some, fancy schmancy stuff. I decided that I was going to go for comfort. And I racked my brain for a little bit, and I thought, what are the Pokemon that I am most comfortable with across all like different metas and regulations? And Incineroar and Rillaboom were my answer. I am a sweaty balance player through and through, and I thought that those two Pokemon were really, really cool. So I said, okay, what team comps exist with Incin Rillaboom? And I did do a couple of like funny, like trying some stuff out. But I ultimately landed on Calyrex, Shadow Rider, and Zamazenta. So these four Pokemon were my non-negotiables for my team. The rest, I siphoned through some other stuff. So let's take a look. Calyrex, Shadow Rider. This is, you couldn't see it. It's Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Terra Dark, Focus Sash as one with Astro Barrage, Psychic, Encore, and Protect. You'll see that this is the exact same moveset and Terra and item that I use at Milwaukee. But the EVs are different. So some of these, thank you to Marco Silva, whom I did a little work with in helping me EV some stuff. I don't think any of these EVs are like super secret anymore, so I feel pretty comfortable sharing them. They're all pretty common EV spreads, but yeah, for the most part, I think some of the like EVs for this team are thanks to Marco, and I will mention that specifically when it happens, and this is one of them. So 12 HP, 84 defense, 156 special defense, 4 special defense, and 252 speed timid. So you have to be max speed. If you're not max speed on CSR, you're throwing. That's just the name of the game right now. You have to do it, and you have to risk the speed ties. That's why I really like the Focus Sash, because I can lose one speed tie and still be fine. Basically, you have 84 defense and 12 HP to survive Surging Strikes from Urshifu. I think it's like Mystic Water Urshifu, no Terra, no Rain, or something like that. Anything more just requires way too much defensive investment that I'm not particularly willing to hand off. So you have to play around Urshifu kind of safely, but that's why we have Amoonguss on the team, which we'll get to later. But it basically gives you as much special attack as you need. I mean, base 165 special attack at a 205 is still insane. So don't fret too much that it's not just like max 252. Since I didn't like when at Milwaukee, I ran 252 because I had sun and I didn't have to worry about Surging Strikes all that much. But here I have no weather whatsoever, and so it matters a little bit more. So yeah, I have this additional bulk, which definitely comes in handy. Depending on the investment, like Heavy Slam might not 2-hit KO this Calyrex Shadow Rider from opposing Zamazentas, kind of some stuff like that. Especially after one Intimidate from Incineroar. So yeah, I think after one Intimidate and never 2-hit KOs or something like that. So it's pretty massive. It's kind of the small amount of bulk in there. We have Zamazenta, Terra Dragon, Rusted Shield, Dauntless Shield with Body Press, Heavy Slam, and Wide Guard, and Protect. I ran Terra Grass at Atlanta, but that was Regulation G with a particular meta call because I had Pelipper. This one, I think Terra Dragon is really good. I think Terra Ghost is also a viable option on Zamazenta, but Terra Dragon just helps you out so much into some of the more challenging matchups, particularly like Koraidon CSR Hyper Offense with the opposing Chi-Yu if they lock into a single target move. So that's kind of massive. So just kind of keep that one in mind. It has 188 HP, 4 attack, 244 defense, 4 special defense, and 68 speed. So I started, this is one that I worked with Marco as well. Again, thank you. 68 speed hits 157, which is always outspeeds Kyogre and Kyogre and Groudon. That's pretty important. I noticed during my practice and play that 157 is also a common benchmark for things like opposing Koraidon and Miraidon. When I was facing Pat Connors in round 2, his Miraidon and my Zamazenta were actually speed tied. Kind of fun fact of the day, so that matters. That can. So maybe going back, I might do like one more. Like I might take something like 2 out of HP and slap like 1 in speed, 1 in special defense. But it doesn't matter too much. I don't think personally. The speed ties are the speed ties, and especially with this kind of team in the Miraidon matchup. As long as you're keeping terrain control, you're going to be like totally fine. And you're just clicking body press into the Miraidon slot anyways. And whatever it hits is pretty dang cool. If it's Miraidon, yeah. If it's the switch in, even better. It doesn't matter. So I'm not too worried about the speed there. 244 defense, max impish. So that way you can just like get as much from the body press as possible. And then just 4 in attack, 4 in special defense, and the rest in HP to give yourself a little bit of additional bulk, which accompanies well with the terrain recovery from Rillaboom. Yeah, these two work super well together. This duo that I've often talked about is piloted strongly by player skill. Player skill is really what like makes this duo really powerful. I think I am a really good player. I'm not going to try to toot my own horn here. I mean, I have a YouTube channel and I do this stuff because I believe in myself. And I wanted to kind of put my money where my mouth is and show myself that I can use an archetype that I think is really reliant on you being a good player. I don't think I'm a great player, but I think I'm really close. I think I'm really close to being a great player. And NAIC in particular has kind of started to show me some of the small things that I need to perfect before I think I can call myself a great player. But I wanted to put my chips on me. So I brought this duo because I thought that I would be able to pilot it really well. We have Incineroar, Terra Bug, Safety Goggles, Intimidate with Knockoff, Flare Blitz, Fake Out, and Parting Shot. Standard set, one that I've been using the entire regulation, 244 HP, 188 defense, Impish, 76 special defense. I don't like Terra Ghost because then you're weak to opposing Calyrex Shadow Riders. I don't like something like Grass or Water because I want to resist the fighting type damage. And the other thing is you'll notice I have Flare Blitz instead of Will-O-Wisp. And the reason for that is that because opposing Amoonguss were a really big problem for this team. I mean, only has 1 move to hit it, can't really hit it. Without the Flare Blitz, can't really hit it, can't hit it, can hit it decently. But it was causing a ton of problems, and so I opted for Flare Blitz over Will-O-Wisp just to get that additional damage and be able to pick stuff up into Amoonguss. You're also going to notice that I have an imperfect speed IV. That's going to happen twice on this team. But yeah, so I do have only 25 speed IVs to hit a 77 speed with my Incineroar. That is, so that way I'm actually always faster than 4 investment Brute Bonnet. So if we go here, let me just grab something random. So it hits 77. Brute Bonnet is 55. So it hits 75. So with 4 investment, it hits 76. So I'm always faster than just like most Brute Bonnets, which only are going to have 4 speed investment max. But I'm still slower than most all other Incineroars. So that's why I have that speed investment there. That's like a very particular thing that Marco and I came up with. It was originally, so it was actually originally 27 speed IVs. So it would be 78. But my good friend, the Urban Ranger, or Lance is his real name, managed to get me a shiny Incineroar in-game, and it had a 25 speed IV, and I just decided that's close enough. Most Brute Bonnets were running 4 anyways. They were not running 12 or more than that, so I was perfectly fine with that. But at least in this way, in the hyper offense Koraidon with Brute Bonnet, I could... If I think that my opponent's going to protect, I can just rip a Flare Blitz. Like I can rip Body Press Flare Blitz or Astral Barrage Flare Blitz into that slot. pick up a KO and kind of go to town, especially with the sun up. So that's where Flare Blitz really comes in handy, and that's where that specific speed investment. I really like being slow pivot. I really like being the last pivot mon, and I don't care if my instant takes a little bit of damage of it because it's so bulky. So having the ability to basically always go after opposing Incineroars is pretty good. And I'm not going for fake out. I know that I'm slower. Like if they see the Intimidates go off, they think it might be a speed tie. I know it's not a speed tie. I know that I'm slower because I have an imperfect speed IV. And that, to me, helps me out in a ton of instances where I otherwise might think about clicking fake out. I know that I'm not going to click fake out there. We have Rillaboom, Terrifier, Assault Vest, Grassy Surge with Woodhammer, Grassy Glide, Fake Out, and U-Turn. This is just the Kelch set. 252 HP, 36 attack, Adamant 4, 204 special defense, and 12 speed. This survives a Helping Hand Boosted Specs Draco Meteor from Miraidon on Grassy Terrain, like 90-something% of the time. Like, it's very unlikely for it to KO. It will survive most of the time, which is pretty massive. That's basically the whole reason for this set. I don't need... You know, if you've watched any of Mikhail Kelch's videos, you'll know that that's the case. Amoonguss is Terra Water, Rocky Helmet Regenerator with Pollen Puff, Spore, Rage Powder, and Protect. 236 HP, 196 defense, and 76 special defense. This is actually my own set, and it's a pretty simple one, but this just always, with this special defense and HP investment, you always survive a Psychic from Sash, Calyrex, Shadow Rider. So if they think that they're going to KO and they don't double the Amoonguss slot, you get a free Spore off. Or they have to double the Amoonguss slot in order to pick up the KO. And then whatever Amoonguss is with just gets a free hit on something. So like if I'm with Shadow Rider and they're like, think I'm going to protect and they double into the Amoonguss slot, I just get a free Astral Barrage off. Or if they wide guard and they just Psychic, I get the Spore off, kind of stuff like that. That's why I have this specific set. I actually like it a lot. It works super well. We're seeing a move back to more physically defensive Amoonguss, but for right now I like kind of this like quasi, especially defensive. And then last but not least, the 6th slot on these is always really malleable, but I ultimately decided on Dark Urshifu. Terra Dark, Black Glasses, Unseen Fist with Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Sucker Punch, and Protect. As you see, there's a nice chunk of bulk in this, and it's not super duper fast. This is basically a Watt Ursh EV spread that I just took and slapped on a Dark Urshifu. It survives more than you think it does, and actually, if you Terra Dark, on Grassy Terrain, you can survive a Specs boosted Dazzling Gleam from Miraidon, which is kind of insane, and then just basically pick up the partner with whatever you're going to Wicked Blow. Urshifu for me is here because Volcarona is a really big problem, and especially the Quiver Dance set. You know, something like a Chen Pao or a Raging Bolt, if Volcarona gets a Quiver Dance or two off, it becomes a really big problem to KO. You can't protect in front of me. I don't care. And I can fake you out if you're not Covert Cloak with one of my other 2 Pokemon, get rid of you, bring in Zamazenta and clean up the rest, that kind of thing. So it's really important to me that I had something that could break through Protect. And I wasn't really loving Water Urshifu, so I gave Dark Urshifu a try, and it felt really good. So it's probably the Mon out of the 6 that I'm going to bring the least, and it's not even close. Like I'm only bringing Dark Urshifu to like Volcarona, maybe Kyogre matchups, and the Mirror sometimes. Like in the Mirror, you're usually going to bring Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Amoonguss, and then one of Incin or Urshifu. You're going to pick one of those 2, whichever you think is better suited for their specific team. Occasionally, you might bring like CSR, Zama, Incin, and Ursh. I did that like in one of my matches against Ruben Johnsini at my like round 4 or 5, I can't remember. And that worked okay. I got a call wrong, and that's the only reason I lost, but otherwise it works fine. But for the most part, it's going to be you, and then one of the dark types. So that's the team. How are you going to utilize the team? So my big thing with this team is that it feels really good it's just so flexible. So against the Mirror, you're going to lead Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, and you're going to bring Amoonguss and then one of the dark types. Against the like CIR Miraidon, you're basically always going to lead Zamazenta Rillaboom with Incin and CSR in the back. CIR Miraidon, sorry. Like, once you understand the lines, you can play pretty safely and only make reads when you're like a little bit behind. You have fantastic ways to punish a lot of different plays. And the big thing with this team that I like personally is that it has, I've described on the channel before, the chance to hedge your bets. And this gives me the opportunity to do that a lot. I can Astral Barrage and Spore. If they wide guard, I can't KO my Calyrex, and then I get a free Spore off, and then the next turn I have some damage to deal. You know what I mean? If they do, I knock them out, the Spore gets redirected. It's not that big a deal. Like, it gives me the opportunity to cover for lots of different options in a single turn. And that's something that I've wanted to work on for a long time. You know, I don't know how to describe it, but I sometimes feel like my play is a little bit too linear. Like I get too focused in. This gives me the opportunity to kind of expand my thoughts turn by turn and think about, as Wolf says, how do I play in a way that covers for every possible option for my opponent? Amoonguss is pretty pivotal to that, and you're going to see that a lot where when you're clicking, like when they think you're going to click Rage Powder and you click Spore instead, and it like instantly wins you the game. There's a lot of times in positions where I'm like, man, Rage Powder is the safe play here, but I'm willing to risk a KO because then that means something's going to bed, and then I'm in an incredibly good position. So yeah, so those are but there's not really set leads. Like you're not really gonna, there's not something I'm gonna be like, you're always gonna lead X. When in doubt, though, lead Calyrex Zamazenta. I mean, that's just like your safest, most powerful lead out the gate. It's a little bad because you're not going to want to switch Zamazenta out that much. But like this slot, if they lead something that you think they're going to do a fire move into, you can go into Incin. If you think they're going to do they're never going to do a fighting move into this slot unless they're like ball in. But if you think they might, you can go Amoonguss. You know what I mean? Like you've got plenty of options. But other than that, then it's like matchup by matchup. Like if I was going to do a real team report for this team, I would give you my Pacers, which is just going to show you like, hang on, I'll show you. Hang on 1 second. So these are my notes, right? For some of my more challenging matchups. Like, and this shows you like the leads that I'm going to bring, kind of what my opponent brought. How did I win? Like, these are the notes that I'm using. Sorry. And you can, if you ever took like a really close look at these, you'll notice that none of the leads are the same. Like everything is just different leads with different floor, and it's all about what's going to work specifically into that matchup. This team is really flexible, but I will say it is still really reliant on player skill and comfortability with these Pokemon, and understanding when is the best time to take damage trades. When is the best time to kind of YOLO out, and when's the best time to make hard reads. So I will link a rental and a PokePaste in the description down below. I love this team. I think my team's pretty good. I don't think it's perfect. I think the Dirt slot could be swapped out, and the Amoonguss slot maybe, but overall, I'm very happy with the team. And so if y'all want to try it out, I think it's a ton of fun, and you totally should. So that's the actual team reports. I'm going to talk, there's just a couple of things I want to say about NAIC before we get into the battles. So let's go ahead and hop into that. All right. So as you can see, I placed 282 out of 1,129 players, which puts me in the top 25% of players, going 5-3. Yeah, it was a little disappointing, I guess, to just barely miss out on day 2ing at NAIC. I don't feel bad about it, though. I feel like I played really well. And I played some really tough opponents that basically it came down to calls. So my round 1 opponent was a nice guy. I felt really bad for him, but yeah, I ended up beating him 2-0. I didn't reveal my back 2 Pokemon in game 1. And game 2, I did not reveal my last Pokemon, nor Terra. So that was a quick and decisive win. I was one of the first few people to do. He was a really cool guy with a cool team, but he had a Calyrex Ice Rider with but the 4th slot wasn't like Leech Seed, it was Curse. So Zamazenta just kind of like stomped him pretty easily, which was pretty bad. And then second round, I got to get matched up against Patrick Connors. So Patrick Connors was running CIR Miraidon, but with the adaptation of Amoonguss, and that Amoonguss was a really big problem for my team. He played super well. We were like just trading reads back and forth. Like it was cool. He was a cool guy. Like we just had nice conversation. I had a lot of fun. Like we were just talking during the sets, just like having a good time playing the game. Overall, I did take him to a game 3. And at the end, I got a read wrong on a 50-50, and he ended up taking the set, and it is what it is. So I don't feel bad about that loss. I think I played really well, and I made the guy that won last year play to a game 3, but ultimately I couldn't like take it over. And I mean, I was making some really aggressive plays. Like at one point, I remember specifically like psychicking into the Incineroar slot, predicting an Amoonguss swap. Like he disrupted my standard lines into a team comp like that super well. I mean, the first game, I remember I was specifically thought, he's not going to lead that Amoonguss. So I led Zamazenta Rillaboom, and he led that Amoonguss, and I was like, I think I lose. It's like, I think I lose right now. So that was a problem. But yeah, so overall, though, he played super well. He was really cool. So Pat, thank you so much for those games. I still have a lot to learn, so one day we'll face again, and I'll swamp. Yeah, don't worry. Round 3, so at that point I was 1-1. Round 3 wasn't anything in particular. Neither was round 4. And then round 5, I got faced up against Ruben Johnsini, who placed second at the Bologna special event and won it the year prior. We did the CSR Zama mirror match, and Ruben was nice. He was a nice guy. Wasn't as talkative as Pat was, but I think that's okay. I think maybe there's a little bit of a language barrier. I don't know. But yeah, we also went to 3 games. We also did games. So he won game 1 or I won game 1. I don't remember. Like we basically, like, it was a blowout either way, games 1 and 2. And then game 3, it was like really close. He basically, there was a turn where I had Urshifu and something else on the field. Urshifu and Incin. He had Amoonguss and CSR, and I needed to, it was a 50-50. Sucker Punch would KO. I always faked out the Amoonguss. I had Fake Out Live. So it's either attacks with Calyrex Shadow Rider or he protects. And I had to call whether he was going to attack or protect. And so either go for the Sucker Punch or go for the Wicked Blow, and I got it wrong. And he ended up winning the set. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I ended up losing that set because of that one specific 50-50 call at the end of game 3. But you know what? I still don't think I played poorly. I think I played really well. Again, I took the guy that placed second at the Bologna special event to a game 3 where it came down to a 50-50. Me, some dude on YouTube did that. So I'm really proud of that. I wish I could have taken it over the line, but I didn't. And I didn't have the skill to do it yet, and that's okay. We're going to keep working on getting there. So at that point, I was 2-2 or 3-2. I would have been 3-2 at that point. So the next 2 rounds weren't anything. And then round 7, I pulled Koraidon CSR. Like the Koraidon CSR Wheezing, Scarf Chiyu, Brute Bonnet stuff. And that is just so hard for my team. That is just a really, really tough matchup. And I have to play like perfectly in order to win. It is winnable. I have won against it on like Showdown and stuff before, but particularly in like somebody like in a 3-2 standing, or was it 4-2? Like 4-2 standing like that. Yeah, 4-2 standing. It's just really, really tough. So, and it basically game 1 was over from turn 1. I didn't think he would. Normally players want to flame charge directly into the Calyrex Shadow Rider. So I just left Zama exposed. He flame charged into Zamazenta, a crit, and O-code my Zamazenta turn 1 with the flame charge. That basically ends the game right there. I need Zamazenta for the rest. I actually did almost bring it back. He had Brute Bonnet and a broken Sash. No, he didn't have Sash on CSR, but his Terra was used up. And he had CSR left. Now I had CSRs with Sash intact, and I basically just had to win 3 speed ties because I'd Encore locked him into Protect, and I Encore locked Bonnet into Sucker Punch, and I was counting Sucker Punch PP in order to stall it out, because if I could stall out the Sucker Punch PP and live the 3 Encore speed ties that I would need to keep him Encored into Protect, or at least until I could, yeah, basically I would need to win. I would need to Encore him twice and then Astral Barrage first. And then I would have actually won the matchup, because an Astral Barrage would have picked up, he had some damage on he already had damage on the Brute Bonnet. So then it would have done enough damage. He would have had to Seed Bomb, and then he wouldn't have been able to KO me fast enough, and he would have lost. So yeah, I almost brought game 1 back, even after the disastrous turn 1 with the crit flame charge. But I couldn't do it. It was just too tough. And then game 2, he adjusted well, and I got a couple of, again, I have to like make some heavy reads, and I got the reads wrong. He just like played it in a way that most people don't play the archetype. and I ended up losing. So that's the only loss I took that day that was like kind of a blowout. I really don't think it was, though. I mean, it's just an insanely tough matchup. And game one, getting it that close after that terrible turn one, I'm still really proud of how I played that. And then, yeah, game two, it was just tough. So the last round then was a mirror match. And this is the round that I'd actually say I'm most proud of. I mean, I'm proud of the way I played overall, but this was tough. He was a good opponent. But basically, we were doing the mirror match, and I kind of clocked the fact that he was playing a little too safely the entire time. So two major turns stick out to me. So I think he won game one, and in game two, he has like low health Zamazenta and low health Chenpao on the field, and I have Sash broken but still pretty high health CSR. And anything else? Maybe Incineroar. I think Incineroar on the field. But I don't know what it was. I was just like, this dude's not going to sucker punch. This dude's not going to wide guard. He wants to get rid of this Incineroar, and he thinks that I'm going to like Encore something. So he's going to go for the crunch plus body press. And I just clicked Astral Barrage, picked up 2 KOs, and won the match right there. So then we were 1-1. He did look at me afterwards and go, and man, if you're watching this, I am sorry. I did not have a better response in the moment. But he goes, why did you do that? Just kind of like flabbergasted that I would make such an aggressive play. And I was a little taken aback by the question. So, and also what I said was, and I feel really bad about this. And I went, because I knew you wouldn't. It was just like, I knew he wouldn't. I made a really hard play. I made a really, really aggressive play, but it ended up working out well for me. And then in game three, basically, we were trading slogs again with the mirror. And there was a turn where he had just protected with CSR, and he had like Zamazenta, but it had left the field and come back, so it didn't have the defense boost anymore. And I was like, man, the sucker punch right here is just so obvious. Like, I think I'm gonna make this really, like, it was kind of like he was favored to win, so I needed to make this play, I think. But I was like, I'm gonna make a really aggressive play. So I'm going to fake out the Zamazenta and close combat it, predicting him to nasty plot with his Calyrex Shadow Rider. And I got it right. He nasty plots to avoid the sucker punch, and I just rip the fake out plus close combat, and it does like 95% to Zamazenta. So now I notice that there's only one win condition for him, and I just don't think he's going to see it. I can see on his face that he's starting to get tilted, so I think he's not going to think it through. So I just sucker punch CSR. And I go for the Flare Blitz into Zamazenta. I get it right. I KO this Calyrex Shadow Rider, and then he body presses into Incineroar, and so then we have to play Sucker Punch mind games. But I just know that he's so tilted. I just click Sucker Punch again. I KO the Zamazenta that's at like 5% or something like that, and I end up taking the set. And I'm really proud of that. Those were some really aggressive reads. I had to really be like just full sending a couple of things here that really won me. And I think that's, if you ask me what I've gleaned from NAIC and how to make myself a better player, I think understanding when to make those kinds of reads and which reads to make are the next step in my ability to play this game. I think I play a little too safely most of the time, like if we're being honest, and I can get punished for that pretty easily. I need to start being, Brady said it once, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, good players play to not lose, great players play to win. And so it's like, I'm going to make this play because it will win me the game right now if I make this play. And so I need to get maybe a little bit better at doing that. I think that's kind of the next step in my play, which is why I'm kind of excited for a break from competing so I can really sit down and do this. I have a few people that I want to do coaching sessions with, and I want to pick their brains about stuff. But yeah, so... And I had a really fantastic time. I think I learned a lot about playing Pokemon. I met some really amazing people like Ian, Andy LaVGC, whom I've been acquaintances, but we hung out a nice chunk. Andy, I had a really fantastic time. Thank you for hanging out with us so much. That was really cool. And a couple of other things. Andy and I actually made a really stupid Munchlax team that I might try to make a video with. It's so funny. It's so dumb, dude, but it's so funny. We were just farming wins on low ladder with it. But yeah, I had a really great time. I think my goals still have not changed. I do not aim to be the most amazing competitive player ever. I am a commentator and teacher foremost, but I want to become a better player so I can be noticed well enough to be a commentator and so I can become a better teacher. So I'm going to keep working to be an even better player and make even better content, so that way y'all can also become even better. So that's kind of my spiel about NAIC. I had a really great time. Thank you also to my friends that I went with, Storm VGC and his partner. I don't know if he wants me to say their name or not. I don't really know, so I'll just leave that there. But I didn't ask him. I could text him. But yeah, I went with Storm VGC, who you've seen on the channel a couple of times. I saw Wolf again. I kind of let him be, though. He seemed like out of it. I met Aaron Zhang finally for like 7 seconds, though. He was like passing. I was like, Aaron. And he was like, hey. And I was like, you look really busy. Just go. I was just like, that's fine. And he was like, thank you. And yeah, I just let him go because I was like, you're super busy, dog. I can see it in your face. So overall, it was super duper cool. And I'm glad that I attended so many events, but I definitely am ready for a little bit of a break. And I'm ready to do some streams of Limitless Tours with really dumb Pokemon. I've been working on sneak peek, a Snorlax team that is actually working really, really well for no reason. So we'll see kind of what happens with that. But that is enough of my rambling. If you've stayed through this much, thank you so much for watching. I'll say it at the end of the video because I already recorded the outro. But thank you for being here. Like, none of this matters if nobody's watching. So the fact that you're here listening to me ramble about NAIC and watching me play Pokemon really kind of means a lot to me. And I know that I appreciate y'all is kind of like some slogan, but I really mean it. Like, I really do appreciate y'all. I really like helping people get better at something they're passionate about. And the fact that you're here because you think that I am able to do that means the world to me. So thank you so, so much. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough feelings for now. Bad at that. So let's go ahead, hop into the battles. Okay, we have the mirror match. We have Zamazenta, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Raging Bolt, and Chien-Pao. So for a team comp like this, I'm almost always going to lead CSR Zama and hope for the best. So many reads. You want Amoonguss. It's pretty good here. And then you basically want to make a choice of either Incin or Urshifu. For a team comp like this, it's hard. Incin's better for the Chien-Pao, but Urshifu's better for the Raging Bolt. I think if I can position it right, Urshifu's probably fine, and it's faster than Raging Bolt. So I'm gonna go with that. It's a tough call. I like when I faced Ruben. I think it's Ruben Giancini. That's how you say his last name. Incin, okay. So they're already leading off in a way I don't like, personally. Yeah, Ruben Giancini. When I faced him, I mean, it was always just that lead. It's a bunch of reads. I was swapping between in the sets. Okay. So they can fake out. They can knock off. I normally am not. Let's do this. So Astral Wide Guard is a pretty common opening for me, but now at least I can get some damage off. Best case scenario is they protect, then I can double the slot. I don't know, there's a lot here. I also don't want to attack, just take a bunch of damage from a fake out. Yeah, there's the Terra. Probably Terra Dark, that's the most common. Okay. See what they go for. Yep. I get the fake out off, which is good. Okay, so now that's 2 instances where I'm faster, but it's not unheard of that I just like win a speed tie. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, that's fine. Incin goes down. That's good. And I still have Sash intact, which is pretty nice. Or they don't. Zamazenta. Yep. Okay. So now we got a turn. I mean, if I can Encore them into Protect, I think I'm gonna double this slot. Actually, I'm gonna Encore because I have a Amoonguss in the back. Nice. So they might not be max speed, which is silly. They get the double. That's fine, because CSR still has Sash intact. So they're faster. Do this. Getting that double there is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, that's why I'm going for this play. Who comes in? And foul. Do they go for the wide guard here? Nope. So Chen Pao goes down. Nice. It's fine. So I still have so much. So they haven't actually revealed what their item is. I would assume it's Life Orb. I'll go into Amoonguss here. So I'm threatening damage on either one. I want to do this. Nice. UKO? Nope. Nice. Amazing turn for me. Yep. I am EV to live that. That crit did not matter. And now I Spore. Now I Spore. And that's GG's. So now we're gonna have some fun. Now I Spore. Getting off a Spore. My body press. Stunt on him a little bit. Yeah, battle was canceled. Good game to my opponent. Yeah, so when you're doing the CSR Zama mirror, I think not leading CSR Zama is a throw to start out the gates. You're always leading CSR Zama. And then you just have to make a bunch of calls. They might have been slower, or I won 3 speed ties. Not unheard of, but with Nasty Plot, they might have been Spell Tag. I don't know. I don't know what their item was, I'm going to be honest with you, because they didn't take Life Orb Chip, but you don't normally see Sash with Nasty Plot. So it might have been Spell Tag or Spooky Plate or something. But interesting team nonetheless. But yeah, so that's a relatively standard team comp for CSR Zama, but I basically always like turn 1 Astral Wide Guard, and then because if they don't Terra and I knock you down to Sash, you're just kind of like cooked. So yeah, they played a little too risky. I think you have to play risky in the mirror a lot, but not that risky that quickly. I think so. Really good game either way to my opponent. Let's do another one. Okay. We have Charizard, Koraidon, Raging Bolt, CSR, Ogerpon, and Incineroar. This is actually a really tough matchup. I'm pretty certain that's Scarf Charizard. It's just replacing a Chi-Yu. That should just be Chi-Yu. So there's a couple of different ways that you can lead this. Zamazenta is good, especially if they're... Incin is good. CSR... Zama is good. I'm fine with this. You and you. We'll see. This is going to be tough. I might see... I'm assuming Charizard is scarfed. So we can find out. That's cool. I'm assuming that their Charizard is shiny. So let's see. Let's see what they're doing. Yep. Charizard, Koraidon. I mean, it's got to be just like the Chi-Yu replacement, right? So the sun will get activated. I'm going to scout. I'm just going to double protect turn 1. They'll also take a tiny bit of chip from the solar power, which will be pretty good. I'm going to double protect to scout what they're going for. But I'm assuming that's... Oh, you made a mistake. You've made a mistake. That's the incorrect play to make in front of me right now. Overheat, yep. Take some solar powered chip. Gonna body press. Terrifier, your Koraidon is my guess. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. You're cooking protect again. That was a really nice protect. Can you do it again for me? This is still gonna do like 60% to this Charizard dog. Also, I told you it was scarfed because it moved. Oh no, because Koraidon protected, so I don't actually know. Well, it is scarfed. That stinks for them, but that's the name of the game we play. Koraidon must use protect. Yeah, still does a lot. I want to make sure that I'm keeping Sash intact here. I'm going to heavy slam in case they swap into Calyrex. Incineroar is fine. Nice, and they go into Caly? Yeah, they do, baby! Like, wait! Yep, now solar power will take them out. Calyrex. Okay. I have Sash intact. I'm do I have in the back? Things that don't want to answer Koraidon. I'm gonna hop into Incineroar. And body press Incin. I want to keep my Sash intact with Calyrex. I need it. It's fine. Astral. It's fine. Doesn't do half to Zama. When she couldn't move, this is fine. So I am just going to... double this slot. In case they swap the Protect and swap into Koraidon. So I think they're going to protect the CSR here. Yep. Nice try! Called it. Called it! Nice. I just need to deal damage here. If I go down, I go down. Yep, it's fine. Yeah. Nice, cool. Now I can wide guard Astral. Now I can just wide guard Astral. Pick up a KO. Actually, I can just Astral body press, right? Yeah, I can just Astral body press. I'm always clicking Astral Barrage here. I'm always clicking wide guard. Yep, that's fine. Yes, okay. So I either win the speed tie or they're slower, but I think I'm just winning speed ties today. They are cooketh. Cooketh, I stay. Now I just Astral body press the instant slot and they can't KO me. Because if I go down, I have, yeah, they can't win now. Because I still have my Amoonguss in the back. Nope. They still wouldn't win. Because I body press that slot anyways. That might be AV, that's a +1. Thank you, I'll take that. Body press, bunk. Night night. See you later. I love using CSR Zama, dude, it's so good. Sorry, Andy Nito. Still, Charizard's cool. That's cool. I like Charizard. The reason I heavy slammed it the second turn is in case they swapped into CSR, I can break a potential Sash. You gotta be careful. Sometimes you're gonna click heavy slam over body press just for the sake of if CSR swaps in. because if I break that Sash, it's way better for me. The close combat onto Incin was not the play. They should have went for the Flame Charge there. If you're playing Koraidon, fun fact of the day, like 9 times out of 10, turn 1, it's on the field, you want to be clicking Flame Charge and then just picking up KOs after that. So they played really well, but Koraidon is actually a really, really tough matchup. The Charizard, though, made it a little easier. Chi-Yu is way harder for that duo, for my duo. My only, like, resounding loss in all of NAIC was against, like, Hyper Offense, CSR, Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Brubonnet stuff. Everything else was, like, incredibly close game 3 calls, everything like that. So that is a really, really tough matchup for this team. So just kind of be ready for that. You have to basically read them like a book every single turn. So really good game to my opponent. Let's do one more. Okay, Jake is rocking CSR Koraidon. This is actually really good for me. The addition of Landorus is not my favorite thing in the world, but that's okay. Yeah, the Lando is a problem. I can adjust if I need to, but normally this is what I'm going with for this comp. Yeah. CS, they have a Urshifu, but I don't anticipate them to bring it. They normally don't into my team because I have the Amoonguss. Amoonguss can be good in this instance, but I'm not super keen on it with the CIR. Yeah. Okay. So this is a really good lead for me. Defense rise, yep. Okay. So I do have the faster fake out here, but I never want to risk my Rillaboom in this position. It's way too important. I'm going to hard swap into Incineroar and just try to rip a body press on this Incin. The CIR right now is not threatening me in any way. Especially if it's not Clear Amulet. Yep, so it's leftovers. It's leftovers Leech Seed. It's fine. And you're going to set up Trick Room, right? Yep. That's okay. So now we double into the Incin slot with Body Press and Parting Shot. Does anything want to come in? We'll find out. Yep. You're probably going to protect the Calyrex. Nice. Leech Seed is okay. Don't really care all that much about it. We're gonna go Rillaboom. So that's a nice chunk. We're going to double the Lando slot. In case they swap into Incin here. I could also be slower than the Landorus. That's possible. Nice. Yeah, there's nothing. Nice, and Lando goes down. I was doing that in case they swap back into Incineroar. But now I get a free body press into this slot. Yeah, it was a nice chunk. That's fine. So the goal here is like I kind of like don't care about the Calyrex all that much. So yeah, I'm gonna lose a little bit of health from this Leech Seed, but I just like get it down to being the last Pokemon. And then sorry, I'm adjusting my volume. Yeah, Incin. So now I'm gonna U-turn Calyrex and body press the Incineroar. How many more turns of Trick Room are there? 2. Okay. Yep, there's a Leech Seed, which is fine. You can just tell, like, what's it doing to me right now, you know? Calyrex isn't, like, dealing any damage. And now I just go back into Incineroar. Like, I have not even revealed Calyrex Shadow Rider yet. You know what I mean? That's fine, you're -1. Doesn't really do all that much. And now you're just gonna go down to... Yep. Nice. Okay. And now Calyrex is stuck at -2. So who comes in? Miraidon, right? Yeah. So they haven't Terra'd yet is my thing. And that's okay. Right? No. So, I mean, they're always going to Terra Fairy here. Actually, I don't know why I protected. I should have... Oh, because I'm going... Yeah, I know why I did. I know why I protected. But I think they're going to Terra Fairy. Which means I might actually swap Zama out for Incineroar next turn. Yep. Here's a Terra. Yep. Leech Seed. Yeah, it's fine. Because I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, I've just rendered this thing useless. Funk. Okay. So what do you go for with you? Yeah. -1 Electro Drift without the terrain isn't really going to do all that much. Yep. So Heavy Slam is going to become pretty important here. And now I've permanently garnered terrain control. So I'm actually cool with ripping a Wood Hammer into Miraidon. Just to chip up some damage. Swapping it Incineroar. And now CIR will be at -3. Nice. Fine. Nice. Trick Room. All right, GG's. I fake out Woodhammer again. Yep, I win now. They weren't protecting because I haven't clicked fake out once this game. There goes Miraidon. How does that put me? They're -3. I don't know if they go down. If I go down to another... Okay, so now we're gonna get rid of this bad boy. At -3, I think I live. Yeah, whatever. Like, you can't stall me out well enough. Yeah. Yeah, see? Now it's just like it doesn't have enough stalling power. I think I can do this without even revealing Calyrex Shadow in the back. This matchup's just so free. Except when I use it against Pat Connors, and they have an Amoonguss. Pat... I only took him to game 3 because of lucky crit. I know, I was like, I took Pat Connors to a game 3. I crit him in the second game, and it really mattered. Okay. Sorry, I knocked up my power again. How many more turns of Grassy Terrain are there? 1. Perfect. Because I don't want him to get a Protect and get even more Leech Seed damage off. Oh, and he missed. I mean, that's bound to happen. Grass is disappeared from the battlefield. How many more turns of Trick Room are there? 1. I mean, I just body press fake out, right? Yeah, I don't need to, like, get flutesy with it. Yeah, battle was canceled. Good game to my opponent. I don't need to get all fancy-wancy with it there. No need. No need to do that. I can just fake out body press, and then if he protects the following turn, I can just body press again, and I win. Body press Woodhammer. So yeah, that matchup's super free for this team. But yeah, it's 11 p.m., so only 3 matches a day. I'm going to spend a little bit more time in the video going over a team report style. Which you've already seen. I don't know why I'm saying it now, but yeah, I feel very comfortable with this team. I like this team a lot. I'm sad I couldn't get farther into NAIC, but I'm really happy with how I played. I think I played really well, and I'm excited to keep growing and getting better and trying to be an even better teacher for y'all and a better coach and reach my goals, which is to be a professional Pokemon commentator for Play Pokemon at Arcanine events like you see. That would be really amazing. Or to be a professional coach, something like that. So, yeah, let's go ahead, hop into the outro. All right, everyone, that is the team. Yeah, I was just say what are my thoughts, but my thoughts are that I feel really, really thankful and grateful to all of y'all right now. Some of y'all came up to me. Ian, whom I featured a team a long time ago, came up to me, said hello. He made day 2. So congratulations, Ian. That's really, really awesome. Especially at Internats is pretty huge. Yeah, I like my team a lot. I think it can use a little bit of fixing here and there, especially to some more recent meta adaptations. But overall, this is an archetype that I feel incredibly comfortable with. I'm really proud of myself for how much work I put into all of my competing this year, and I'm excited to slow down that competing, figure out where I can improve, make those improvements, and come back next year even stronger. Looking for, getting coaching from some folk, kind of stuff like that, but ultimately, my goal is to continue getting better, good enough that Play Pokemon will recognize me and hire me as a full-time commentator. So yeah, if you would like to try the team out for yourself, lovingly give you this rental and PokePaste. I highly recommend it. I think this team is very good, and it's a lot of fun to play. It's pretty heavily piloted by player skill, so especially in the mirror match, which we saw earlier in this video, so just kind of be prepared for that. You can have some like really grog, back and forth, heavy hitter like battles, but it's really, really rewarding when you make a really hard read on an opponent and eke out a huge win. So thank you all, and I'm really, really grateful for y'all. I mean, I couldn't justify all of this travel, all of this play to the people in my life if it wasn't for y'all like supporting me. So really, really, really thank you all so much. Like I'm not very good at the schmappy, sappy stuff. I'm a pretty like straight-laced kind of guy, but I do think you all, I don't just say I appreciate you because it's some catchy tagline. I say it because I actually mean it. And it really means a lot to have your support, to have y'all come up and say hello to me, and for you to tell me that I have helped you make a better Pokemon player. I am a teacher first and foremost, and I'm incredibly happy when people that I feel that I have taught them make progress because of that. So really, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for continuing to be here. I'm gonna keep making videos. I'm gonna keep getting better, and maybe one day you'll see me on an official Pokemon stream. But y'all are amazing. Parental and PokePaste down in the description below. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and become a channel member. And I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. All right. Peace.